Alright, what's up guys? We're back at it again with another video. It's going to be another One Piece chapter live reaction. We're going to get right into this one. Try to keep it as nice, short, and simple as possible, honestly. It's chapter 1183. We have the cover page to Shonen Jump. I guess it's a One Piece, maybe like collaboration with, I see the word Samurai Blue off over here on the side. Luffy's just decked out in all blue straw hat with a soccer ball. So, maybe a soccer team? I mean, clearly, but I don't know. We do get a color page. I love the color pages. This one seems really cool. It doesn't have any description as to what it's going to be. Most of them don't. It just looks like elephants. One elephant seems to be down on the ground. Maybe it's like, yeah, and I guess it's blowing water up into the air, and it's like all of the crew are on top of that, but then also there's like a baby elephant up there with them that seems to be riding up on the water spout. But all the Straw Hats seem to be having a fun time, aside from Usopp, who in almost every color page seems to be struggling to feel safe. In most color pages, it seems like whenever there's something happening like this, everybody else feels great. They're good with it, they're chill, they're vibing, and then Usopp is just spazzing, freaking out. But cool color page. I like this one a lot. Very pretty. But let's go ahead and get into it. Chapter 1183, titled Good Maid. Maid? It's M-O-R-M-A-I-D. I'm not sure what a Maid is, but let's see. We pick up with Emu and Loki still at each other's throats, and I guess Ragnar as well. Let's not forget about Ragnar, our buddy, the Squirrel Hammer. Emu starts by saying, Ragnar, thou hast waited all this time for one capable of bringing vengeance upon Emu. Is that not so? And then he responds, Ratatosker's words, squeak, squeak. And then Loki just says, what is he rambling about? I've never seen someone so resilient, as he just keeps staring into him. Emu then says, Loki, Straw Hat Luffy. Now, this is interesting, because I actually don't think we've ever heard of Emu calling them by their names. He's only called them Nidhogg and Nika. But off of that, he says, neither of ye could be Emu's soldiers. Mu will erase thee, he then says. He holds out his what was a spear before, which now just looks dead-ass like a sword. And he says, just like Dozon. Whoever Dozon was. We then see Loki channeling attack. Ragnar 2 Jin blades. He's getting ready to shoot. And it seems that when he's getting ready to do that, or right when he does it, Emu swipes his big... I don't even know what to call it. His weapon is what we're going to call it. And so it's Loki using Ragnar 2 Jin blades, or just, it says 2 Jin blades and then Heim. So I don't actually know what the full name of that move is going to be exactly. But then Emu's using Sword of Wrath. Graham is what it's called. So it was a sword. He calls it Graham. Interesting. I want to go back and look at his last attack where he made his sword and see how it kind of named it. Because it's got funny naming. This says Sword of Wrath, and then it's like a... What would you call it? Like a semicolon? And then it says Graham underneath. So I'm kind of curious as to what one of his other attacks was kind of named like. We then cut back, though, to the Western Village after that where Zaza was. And we just see the Giants looking up at her, not knowing what to do, yelling, save the children. It seems that most of the Giants are trying to jump inside of her in order to grab the kids out of her body since she's made of water. She's like floating them around in her. The Giants are, we're not going to let you take them. We just saved them. We'll never give up on our children, say the mothers and a couple of the men who are also there. And then it looks like Zaza's looking down at them, and then Chopper actually yells out to all the Giants all the Giant parents who are trying to save them. And he just says, stop moving. We need to do blood transfusions. You'll die if we don't. And the response from Ripley, my goat, is, well, they're trying to take my boy. My life doesn't mean a damn thing right now. As we just see, it looks like Zaza just holding her hand up over top of some of the Giants and just absolutely drowning them with a ton of water. They're all doing their best. Some of them are shooting arrows. It looks like a bunch of them are just wielding swords, trying to figure out what they're going to do. The kids are freaking out up on top. Just help us. We cut over to killing him, where he says, only 7 brats. Well, I guess that'll do. Let's go, Zaza. Sanji approaches. What the hell is going on here? And right when he's pulling up, we actually cut back away. Now we're cutting to Emu. Or not Emu, my bad. Gunko, who we still see within that same block of ice that Ragnar had put them in. So, as far as we know, Loki's statement is fact. Ragnar is the only one who is able to create and destroy that ice. Which would mean that if those giants under Punk Hazard are the giants, the Galea giants, right? From probably like the ancient where Galilea comes from. But the Galea giants from that we heard about earlier this arc, that is probably them under Punk Hazard. They're probably frozen there with this ability, and that's why they haven't been unthawed and nothing has been done with them. Because the government probably found them and decided it was better to cover that area and cover it with another whatever they want to do, their own island. In this case, they gave it to Vegapunk for him to do all kinds of tests and stuff, because either way, it's still hidden off from the public, right? So it kind of fits along with that as to why that was there and underneath Punk Hazard, just so they could cover it, because they couldn't do anything about it. Kind of like poneglyphs. Anyways, sorry about the tangent. We then just see Gunko inside the ice, and she's saying, and then we just see the dialogue, Brook, about that woman, ... This is Usopp talking to Brook, asking about Gunko in the distance. Usopp says, is there a reason you were so hell-bent on confronting her? I only butted in because I could tell it was serious. And then we just get dots back from Brook. Do you know her, Brook? Is she an enemy from your past? Nami says. He responds, she's not an enemy, but she's someone I hoped I'd never have to face again. Usopp confused. It was supposed to stay that way. It was supposed to stay that way. Now? ? I'm completely lost. If she is who I think she is, she'd be 77 by now. Then she can't be the same person, says Nami. I mean, she's a celestial dragon. Brook continues, yes, but the last time I saw her, she was departing for Marijois. She was a princess in my home kingdom. What? Says Usopp. This is like big news. Brook, she's still frozen solid, says Frankie. We can't tell if she's alive, but maybe that's for the best. Usopp continues, couldn't she just be a celestial dragon look-alike? None of this changes the fact that she came here to lay siege to Elbaf. Brook continues, true, but she's the one who released our restraints. And we think back to when Usopp and the gang were all like, we're free, we're untied, did you see how I did that? When really we all knew it was Gunko freeing her powers. Brook says, why would she do that? Thinking. As he thinks back to when she says, run, Brook! He thinks she seemed to recognize me. And then she just turned back into a devil. It's almost like I've witnessed 3 different personalities. Her original personality, the personality that saved us, and the demon form. So do you think she's being controlled, says Nami? Now that's an interesting point. I'm going to stop very quickly to kind of break that up. He says 3 different personalities, being her original one, which maybe is the Gunko that we regularly see. The personality that saved us, which in my eyes would be actually the real personality. What he says is her original personality. My thought is probably more of what he understood of her from when she was probably already taken control of, maybe, or being influenced by Emu. So maybe it's like Emu controls her. That's one. When Emu fully controls her as the devil, I guess, or maybe that's the second. And then she has probably her true state, which is where she does care about Brook. So my guess is he's got it a little spun around and thinking that she was bad originally or didn't seem so great before, right? And then there's this other her that does seem to deeply care about him. I think the original her deeply cared. She was in some way warped into the her that he thinks as the original her, being the one that was less caring, clearly into his music, knew who he was, but didn't seem to care about what they were doing and that they were going to deal with him. And then the devil form, which is just Emu. Anyways, let's continue on. We'll get into that at another point. The Straw Hats Brook continues. Back then, I wouldn't have thought of such a possibility, but after seeing how people are turning into demons today, I can't reconcile the conflicting feelings swirling in my chest. Jinbei says, sorry if this is insensitive, Brook, but we need to know if she should be spared or killed. We can't make a move till you decide. Now that's pretty lit. Brook then actually comes in. It was honestly a really long time ago. She was just a kid, and I was so young. There was once a kingdom that fell called Esperia. Guys, this is hype. Guys, we're getting some Brook backstory. We've been waiting on this since Thriller Bark. Before I was even into the One Piece game, probably, honestly. But he says, there was once a kingdom that fell, called Esperia. It was a country where music flourished. Instrument studios lined the streets. And we get the sounds of instruments. A 1, 2, 3, 4, and it's 70 years ago. West Blue, 4 a.m. Oh, this is great. We're about to get young Brook. Waking up in the morning, it's a good Maid. I don't know what that means still. Part of a song, clearly. A new world's beginning. There's so many seas out there, I'd love to meet them all. Good Maid. Kind of like mermaid. Morning mixed with mermaid. Maid. Good morning, Xperia. No more waiting around for fair winds. Let's set sail again, baby. The back alley, folks. And then we just see, shut up, I'm dealing with a hangover. Be quiet. Good morning, Brook. The port people. The arena. Guys, this island looks awesome. There is like a harp, like mountain on the back of this island. This place looks dope. This is where I feel like Uta in Film Red should have been taken originally. This is the place where Shank should have taken her. Anyways, it clearly wasn't there anymore by that time. But let's continue. Oh, how I long to meet a sexy mermaid one day. Shut it, Brook! It's Lord Brook, they say. Kick him out of the corpse. She'd steal my soul away. Call that a bad fish ending? Somebody get me a gun. Yeah. This is the country of instrument makers. Esperia Kingdom. And the Esperia Palace. The barracks. We got some guys yelling, Captain, teach us how you do your swift slash. You dote too much on Princess Shuri. How shameful. I've been teaching you all, haven't I? You have to master the basics before you can dream. Alrighty, I wonder what's dinner tonight. Yeah, my tummy is grumbling. We'll deliver Binks' sake. And this is weird, guys. This is middle-aged Brook. We've actually, not even middle. This is like the youngest we've ever seen Brook. Or other than when he was a kid. We saw him as a kid when Oda drew him once. But this is him alive. My guess is in his early 20s, late teens. This is like the age of the Straw Hats now. The ocean breezes guide our way. Far across the eye can see the sun is shining merrily as the birds fly in the sky as they sing out with glee. Dee-hee-hee. Oh, that's going into other dialogue. But that's what he was singing. And he's actually walking with Princess Shuri. He looks a lot like a God's Knight. With the way he's dressed. Even more so than he normally does. But then anyway, Shuri continues, or says, he worked hard today. You think I got stronger, just like Mama? Raider Captain, Guard Corps of Esperia. So he was the captain of the Guard Corps. We already knew that. Brook, at 20 years old. I'm on the money with guessing how old he was. He's really tall, though. Really, honestly, this is dope. Kingdom of Esperia. Princess. Shuri, 7 years old. Brook then continues, your mother is indeed super strong. Ah, Lady Kendall, the light of my life. Bad luck falling for a married lady, Brook. What are you saying? Love is freedom, he says. And then we see... Oh, and then we see a big guy who I'm guessing, yep, is our king. He's got a crown on his head. I'll execute you for treason. You're so harsh, says Brook. Wow, bro, I mean, my majesty. And then Shuri says, daddy. So... this is implying to me, guys, that Brook is the brother to the king of this country, which does make him very noble blood. But his brother looks completely different from Brook. I'm not sure if they're from the same, maybe just one parent. Maybe they're half-brothers. They look very different. Brook is a skinny guy with an afro, and this guy's got mangy hair going out in all directions. He's got, like, the cleft chin. He's got, he's freaking wide, dude. He's a big guy. Anyways, Kingdom of Esperia, King Leuven. You're screaming to assassinate me, aren't you? I would never. I'll just wait for nature to take its course. See, Brook, just give up on mommy. No, that's funny. I can't wait to see this chick. When I grow big, I'll marry you instead. Shuri, that's the kind of cute thing kids normally tell their dads. And then Brook says, oh, I don't really want a bride with a runny nose, as he's doing it. That's funny. And then he goes to kick Brook. Don't you dare shoot down my daughter right in front of me. I'm a one-woman type of guy, says Brook. And she's just laughing, dude. It's funny because Shuri's acting a lot like how Luffy and Bonnie do when they were kids. Laughing, kind of holding her belly a lot, doing the Nika poses. Your Majesty, I apologize for breaking up the fun, but riders from a gang are closing in from the port. The corpsmen in the arena or in the area are badly outnumbered. The reinforcements we dispatched from the castle probably won't make it in time. We see port, opera house, palace, all on a small map of the country. Who are they after? Says the king. They're calling for Queen Kendall. She is currently at the opera in town. What? Could it be the Muron family? Yes, they've been after Kendall for ages. When did they land on our shores? Send out a message to Kendall not to leave the opera house. All the snails at the opera house are on Do Not Disturb. The king freaks out. Shuri then goes up to Brook. Brook, you have to do something. They're going to take Mama away. Brook says, the Muron family? That's strange. I met them at the harbor today. And then I'm guessing we're getting a flashback. That or we're just cutting over to where it is. Opera Avenue. And we just see a bunch of guys coming through on horses. Bang bangs. I guess, yeah, gunshots. Gang raiders. Approaching the opera house. And then we're seeing who I'm guessing is Queen Kendall. Ah, that was such a wonderful performance, she says. Outside, the men yell, come out, Kendall. Don Moron told us we can shoot you if you refuse. Today, we settle it, once and for all. You'll finally learn to love our boss. We must make sure the queen does not leave the theater. And then we got a guy just, yeah, and then it seems that the guy, the guard force, rather, for the queen begins to attack the guys. The king says, Brook! And he's freaking out. And then Brook responds, don't worry about it, my royal bro. Remember, our queen is strong. There's no chance they'll catch her. Anyways, it's a shame they didn't realize that when I ran into them at the port earlier, I already sliced them all down. Brook is such a cool guy, guys. And then they go, what? And then instantly, in the middle of town, they all just get cut. All of the raiders, all of them are just cut at that exact moment. What the hell is this? Huh? Don't tell me these guys. They were already cut down? Then that means that was Captain Brook's Swift Slash. It was the 3-pace hum, notch slash, says like all the people do. Brook is like getting gassed up by the whole country, guys. Lord Brook, you're so cool. And then all the people, they're freaking out because the queen's coming out of the opera house. The queen's coming out. Oh my gosh, she's so gorgeous. Over 70 years ago, there were two massive stars in the kingdom of Hesperia. One was the former commander of the Royal Guard Corps and the current queen, Kendall. The other, though his music was widely disliked, would slash his target so swiftly they never even noticed they'd been cut. He is a master of the swift slash, the captain of the battle raiders, Humming Brook. We get to see Kingdom of Hesperia, Queen Kendall. She looks definitely more like Shuri. Shuri definitely follows her look. Brook in his younger days. At this time, their kingdom was at peace. Pretty awesome chapter, honestly. Brook's a G. Kendall seems cool. Shuri seems like a nice kid. I really think Brook's got the wrong impression. I think we're going to get something crazy that happens here in this backstory that's clearly going to explain why Brook thinks the way he does. Because the way that I got it based on his explanation of there being 3 personalities implies he knows that when Emu fully takes over, there's one. The one where she wanted to free them is what he said is another one, and then her original one. But I think he only says her original because it's the one he sees her in when she first appears here in Elbaf, while her original form is the her that would have wanted to save Brook, the one we see laughing as a little kid here. Then the warped one is going to be the one that probably left to go to Marijois at the end of Brook knowing her, right? Potentially after maybe something crazy happened and she was taken over by Emu or something, right? Also, it is, and then the other one would be the devil being Emu. It is really cool, though, to know that Brook is actually from royalty, especially if he is the king. Like, if his brother is the rightful king and it's just kind of passed down naturally, that means Brook is a part of a royal family, kind of like Vivi. Literally a prince to a kingdom, second in command. If his brother had died, I imagine he would have taken over and been the king of that kingdom. So, while we already had a prince in Sanji, we now essentially have a prince in Brook, too. And it's crazy that everybody hated his singing and his songs and loved his swordsmanship. And I feel like in the modern day, it's not that nobody hates on Brook's swordsmanship, but he's definitely more of a musician. And that's become the more key part of his role than the swordsman part. But it seems like Brook was training Shuri back in the day, too. So that's actually pretty cool. Seeing Brook this young is really dope, I gotta say. Brook giving the initial backstory was pretty nice. The way that the Straw Hats kind of go about trying to get the information out of him. I'm glad we did get to see Zaza, though. And Emu. We picked up... It was definitely a cool chapter in that we got a little bit of pacing forward on Emu, a little bit of pacing forward on Zaza, and what's going on with both of them. And then we got to pick up from the Block of Ice Gunko, which we had already been wondering about for a few chapters, and get to pick up on essentially what Brook and her had initially started before Emu descended from on high. Right? Overall, though, guys, this is a really dope chapter. I mean, 1183 really pulled out. It was pretty great. I'm looking forward to next chapter. We're not on break, so I don't know what's going to be coming exactly next, but it should be dope. But I'm going to end it there, see if we can't get out anything else in the in-between. If not, you guys will see me again next week. If you made it this far, go ahead and like the video, subscribe to the channel so you make sure you don't miss anything. Leave a comment down below. Maybe mention who your favorite Straw Hat is. Maybe tell us what you think is going to happen next, honestly, going forward. What's going to happen in the next chapter? Are we going to continue right with the flashback? Are we going to cut back over to Emu? Are we going to go see Luffy since we haven't seen him in like 2 chapters? What's the deal? But anyways, I hope you guys have had a good week. I hope you guys have a good week to come. I'll be back at it with another video soon. Later.